Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter from Recurb's Wedge.
Hi everyone, I'm Kakami-sama and I play Solas Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hello, everyone. I'm Salen Motor. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Greyspace.
Hi, I'm Levalithana Sishithar, an elven wild mage from she doesn't know where.
Hey there, I'm Zach Had. I play Lafdul Moonglade, a specialty priest of Aravan, and occasionally a thief. As part of being a Mischiefmaker is coming up with fun titles every week as part of the cycle reinventation, I guess. I don't know. Reinventing oneself. So his current title is, where is it? The Bellicose Breakout Broker.
Nice. And we got 100 bits for that title. Thank you very much, Anghammarand.
Oh, thank you for...
And for those wondering about the status of our subpoint goal to play Spelljammer Pirates of Realm Space on stream, we have achieved that goal. So, I will be figuring out when and where that stream will be taking place, but I will play that game to completion.
Yay!
Furthermore, if viewers want to have some influence over the party, 500 bits will get the player or myself of their choice a reroll, and currently Braxon has 1, Finn has 0, Ockar has 1, Lafdul has 1, Leva has 4, Solas has 2, I only have 10.
That's 10 too many, definitely.
No, I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. I need a nice giant horde, so it's far too few.
For a second there, I thought you was talking about if people wanted to influence Pirates of Realm Space.
No.
And I'm like, you can't do re-rolls in Pirates of Realm Space.
I mean, if I
Also,
hacked
reload.
the game.
I mean, save and load.
Yeah.
Well, Hank said it.
Save and load is basically reroll.
It depends on if it reloads the seed or not.
Yeah,
Random
true.
number
Yeah,
gen- Anyway,
games.
so we left off last time. The party is on top of the mountain that contains a prison that they need to extricate a prisoner from. And they are currently doing some scouting. It is a brand new day. We are using the sphere chart map because I do not have an external map of the prison itself. They have not gotten inside the prison yet.
Yeah.
To know what it looks like.
Why don't we just kill the prisoner and just make Solas the Half-Elven ruler of the sphere?
Yeah, no, Solas would not agree on that.
What, you took me seriously? Wow.
But Solas, don't you want to be an emperor? You could think of all of the book-related laws that you could pass.
Yeah, but it would not be... The way you would do it in that case would not be what Solas would want to do.
What are we going to do if we get into the prison and there's like 500 half-elves in there?
I mean, we go find the warden's office and check the records.
That you can do while Leva opens all the doors.
I wouldn't be so hurry in releasing everyone since there's some hardened true criminals in there.
And we have another reroll for Finn. Since I have too many, it's a title rabbit. That is factually untrue. It's factually untrue. All right, so it is a new day dawning, and I believe Braxon, you were on watch. Is that
Yeah.
true? Okay. Give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay. Let's. Oh, what I didn't find is the little me down the bottom. There we go. So that I can use Never's magical thing.
Okay. So Braxon, you did notice during the night that the smoke coming out of the chimney openings did stop for a time.
Oh, okay.
All right,
And
so
then it started again.
yeah, so after sundown it stopped, and before sunrise it more smoke appeared.
Okay, that's cool.
All right,
I'll pass it on to the others when they wake up.
all right. So, what are you guys looking at for today?
Well, I guess Braxon help people that need to get ready in the morning, who've got spells to fiddle around with.
How many days have we spent here?
It's the third day, I think.
Yeah, so now I'm just marking up my food rations as well.
Yeah, we've been here for 2 nights.
Yeah,
So
this
2
is
food
this is
rations.
basically your second full day at the mountain. Like the first day you spent getting here, and you got here in the late afternoon, early evening. Then you spent a day exploring around, and now we're on this day. So yeah, 2 nights.
I'm just trying to find where I keep my food. That's in my pouch somewhere. I just don't remember what part. After going through like 50 potions, like not that potion, not that potion, not that. It's like, which pouch is it in again?
All right, so what are you guys looking at doing for this day?
Well, for the start of the day, Solas will cast Sacred Guardian on the rest of the party, since he last time cast on every spellcaster.
Okay.
So now
probably would've-
Solas knows if any one of the party is in trouble.
Okay.
I think I only cast mine.
Oh, my hit
But he
points.
doesn't cast it on himself, since it would be pointless for Magic to tell Solas that Solas is in trouble.
My hit points were down a little bit.
They should not be.
I will
note that not
my-
everyone fully heals up their party, their characters, when I say that they can fully heal up their characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm casting Sacred Guardian lever for myself. So I got 3 people I'm keeping track of.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I had. So I should be on full hit points, should I?
Everyone should
Yes.
be.
Otherwise I go up by 1.
I mean, I suppose those might be old tokens that are. No, it looks like that's all right.
No, it's more like to be my fault.
All right. So, I mean, have you guys like discussed what you wanted to do on this day, scouting wise, or like what kind of actions you wanted to take? I was kind of expecting something along those lines.
We wanted to at least keep a note on the patrols to check if there's basically schedule on them.
I wanted to scan them with like no alignment and stuff to figure out their general bent, if they're evil or if they're neutral, because protection from evil would help, and knowing this, obviously.
You'd have to get close to them, remember.
Yeah, I can cast the spell, get close to them. I can do it invisibly, and I'm quiet anyway, so I don't really have a problem.
Okay.
So you guys had already scouted out a route down, hadn't you?
Well, we got that tunnel to...
Yeah.
Did we figure out
we did
if that was
scout
an
the
air
route
shaft?
All right,
we're
I
guessing
think
it's an air shaft.
there's different things being discussed. Braxon was asking about a route down the mountain, which was
Yeah,
scouted.
me and Lafdul scouted at the end of last session.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lafdul, you're talking about the hidden building that was disguised with an illusion that has grates on it and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we would
Well,
we would
right,
brief.
but is that what you're talking about, Lafdul?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. People, I don't know how.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that's an air shaft.
Yeah. We'd have briefed people on that when we came back.
Likelihood is there's more than one of those around.
We haven't discovered more than the one, but it was hidden with magic.
Yeah.
Sure,
it was-
but now that
It was disguised as a boulder, so someone could go walking around looking for other boulders.
well, it doesn't have to be boulders. I mean, Finn's a naturalist. He kind of spots these things, so he knows what should be there or shouldn't be there.
That
Now
is
that he
how I
knows to look
spotted
out
this
for
one.
it.
I'm sorry?
So that is how I spotted this one.
Hmm.
Yeah, but rest might not be hidden like that.
But it was also kind of luck. You just happened to pass by it and made a check kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
so-
but now that we know, we need to look out for potentially out of place things that could be illusions.
Right, but to do a search, you're still kind of talking about like a grid search type thing.
Hmm.
Also, not all of the air events might be out of place things in illusion-wise. They might be just a air event in the wall and made illusion that there's just plain wall there.
Well, the events. Go on.
They were memorized to wizard eyes to be able to follow up on some of the ideas that people had. Like have a look where those what do you call it, chimney type things go. Events.
Is there a question for you, Lava?
Hmm.
Can it go through fire? Does it burn away? Do you take the damage? Or is it the eye takes damage?
It doesn't say anything.
It is a physical
assume
object. That it's
So
just
it
naturally
fails.
invisible. And it is an organ. There's nothing about taking damage if it is destroyed or anything like that. But you would feel sensation that it feels, kind of thing. So,
What? Oh wow.
yeah.
I was thinking
And-
if like resist fire might help it or something.
On
I
the other hand, wouldn't it see the fire?
It would see the fire, but at the same time, it would be like, unless, of course, there's something.
If the organ feels pain, you might lose concentration on your spell.
That's okay
I'm-
because you can retake concentration. You can reconcentrate.
A suggestion for the wizard die spell when you use it on the chimneys. Since Braxon noticed that they put out the fires for then after sundown, maybe cast it then for there.
I imagine they would lock doors and stuff though, wouldn't they?
Well, this the wizard eye should not be cast anywhere close where other people might actually hear because it takes one full turn to cast.
How fast can it travel if it's not actively searching?
30 feet.
Let's see. It travels at 30 feet per round.
Did I notice any areas when I was there that it's a little bit more secluded that she could cast a spell slightly hidden from? Well, it's a divination spell. You could have invisibility up anyway, so it's not an offensive spell.
Well, she's
Shouldn't break.
actually it's an alteration spell.
Is it?
Yep.
No. Well, it shouldn't break it anyway.
The worry is more that she has is someone hearing her casting the spell.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. She can make herself invisible if necessary, but she can't make herself unheard. She doesn't have the vocal, does she?
How far apart are all those vents?
They're about 10, 15 feet, somewhere in there.
In at maximum distance from each other. I'm wondering if a science 15-foot radius would cover the vents.
would cover some of them. You might be able to get 2 of them, but there's at least 4.
Alright, because I only memorized one of those spells, so.
I just saw something. I missed something. I was going to say Leva doesn't have vocalize, but she does have vocalize.
And you have it memorized?
No, because I forgot that I had it.
Oh.
But isn't it the start of the day?
Yeah, it is the start of the day, so you can choose what spells you're taking.
In that case, she will take one.
I just had another idea too. I could cast protection from fire on myself and go down one of those shafts as a lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
So keep in mind, protection from fire would protect you from the fire at the bottom, but it wouldn't protect you from the smoke.
Is that an animal that doesn't really need to breathe very often?
I can land in my ring that allows him to suspend his need for breathing for a while. He wouldn't be able to reactivate it unless he changed forms, but at least going in, it would last a while.
Mm-hmm. How long is a while?
I don't know. The only time I've ever tested it was on the prison, the ruins in Vladspace, when you were doing that sands, the gusts of wind. And I think I changed my ring, so I never figured out how long it lasts. But I think it lasted at least a few minutes. I have no idea.
Okay.
Or I could go down the air vent the same way.
Well, the air vent would be safe to go down.
I'd imagine anyone who's going to go for the effort of putting up a permanent illusion is powerful enough to put simple magical traps.
Well,
Solas, question.
Mm-hmm.
What's this ethereal thing that you have, that spell?
You mean etherealness?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody being in that state, could they go down the vent? And how long does it last?
That's the thing, can you fly?
It lasts for quite a while, but you basically you can go through walls, but I'd think you have to still basically use the movement options that you have, so you couldn't.
So let's say if Finn were to change himself into a lizard and you made it ethereal, would he be able to go down and up and not be bothered by the smoke? I mean, he's small enough that he can get through this slit.
Potentially.
Don't you have to don't you have to take people?
Yeah, I will have to take them in, but they can part from me. And when the spell ends, they materialize automatically.
So could you stay up there and you could, and Finn could go on?
He could go with him, but if he needs to cast spells once in, he's going to be very audible.
I think the other thing
tend to echo.
I'm just checking the spell description.
I think the other thing we should consider is there might be something inside there that suppresses magical abilities, because if they've got a prison, it might be a prison for keeping in spellcasters as well.
Big plop.
I mean, there's going to be somewhere where we mess up, so
that was part of the idea of using my shape change too, because if I did go through a no magic zone or something like that, I just wouldn't be able to change back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Okay.
It wouldn't take me out of the form.
So if you went through as an ethereal form and a lizard, and you got into an anti-magic area, you'd still be a lizard, but you'd be visible. Are there lizards that are around this area?
Yeah, there's lizards
So
around here.
so they could actually think that this lizard that all of a sudden turns up is a local one, and they just didn't notice it before.
I'm not sure how that would work in an anti-magic zone. Because you're not technically on the material plane where the etherealness is. You're on another plane of existence.
Yeah, that is probably something that you would have to experience or experiment with.
Yeah. Since you are in the border ethereal because of the magic.
Out of curiosity, Solas, can you become ethereal, return to phase, bring someone else ethereal, or does everyone who can you only bring people ethereal at the time of the casting?
At the time of the casting,
Okay.
they have to be in physical contact.
Okay. So that's not something that you could, let's say you get down there and you want to get into the cell without unlocking it, you wouldn't be able to cast it outside the cell, pass through the cell, return to the prime material plane, get the prisoner, return ethereal, and go, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would need two castings of the spell in that case.
Though
But
if you
I
could
just
reach
hadn't-
into the spell or into the cell,
Yeah, if there was physical contact with the person inside the cell, then I could cast it outside.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like if there's bars in the door, you could hold there?
Yeah, if there's bars in the door and they can reach out from between the bars.
Okay.
Question: Leva's robe allows her to change planes. Could she use that to go there, to go inside?
No, that's going astral. The astral and the ethereal planes are very different in how they work. The ethereal feels a bit more. The border ethereal, which is what etherealness takes you into, you can basically still see the prime material plane from that, whereas the astral is a completely different plane of existence. Fully.
Yeah, border ethereal is basically the border zone between the deep ethereal and material plane.
But if you go in as an ethereal, you can still be seen.
No,
No,
not
you are-
only if things can see into the ethereal plane, which something like a basilisk can.
Okay.
You're functionally
detect
invisible.
face and true seeing can also detect you.
But for the purposes of people on prime material plane, you are invisible while you're ethereal.
Yeah, and you can't affect the physical world while you're in the border ethereal.
It
But
wouldn't
you can pass
surprise.
through walls, doors, and other solid objects without hindrance.
Does it say about material thickness? Is it because you went through some stuff that in the Vlad place that prevented you?
No, there's no mention about how thick of an object you can go into, but there's the danger if the spell ends and you would have to materialize and you're inside solid object, you are cast into deep ethereal and catatonic stupor until you are rescued. So
Considering you're the only one that can actually plane shift amongst us.
yeah, you don't want to be inside anything big if you aren't sure that you can get out by the time the spell ends.
Yeah.
Since basically you're then helpless in the deep ethereal, which is not a safe place to be completely helpless.
Really nowhere else. Nowhere is.
Yeah, but there are some things that are quite dangerous there compared to material plane.
All right, so you guys still need to
Yeah,
do some spell selections, or are you good to start deciding on what you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm ready for the day.
I don't know. It sounds like you're ready for another nap. It's hard work memorizing spells, huh?
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
it is.
Question?
Yep.
Vocalize lasts 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
If you use Vocalize and then if you cast Vocalize and then cast, let's say, Wizard Eye.
Yeah, that's not enough time. If it's only 5 rounds, then you cannot cast a spell that has a 1-turn casting time.
Yeah. Well, you can, but you only get the silence of 5 rounds.
Right.
Okay.
So in other
Then there's
words,
no point in-
yeah, after the 5th round, you are mute, you're silenced, and the spell will fail.
Okay. Oh well, was a good idea.
I mean, it's a good spell. If anyone else silences you, you always have that option as being able to get around it. So
It's a common spell pretty safe against wizards, so
yeah,
that's why they developed it.
Well,
Alright.
my opinion is we should go check out the air shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Could we estimate how long that might be from what our guess is about how high the thing is?
Yeah. So you're looking at many hundreds of feet. You're not real sure how high the mountain is, and it's very rough terrain and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The hidden building with the air shaft is not at the peak by any means either.
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay. You'd probably put the height somewhere around 500, 600 feet above the surface. You know, the plane surface below you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if a locate object could work on like a door handle. You just go around flying, see if you can find another door handle.
There's no actual
Similar
door on
enough.
that shack, though.
Wow, yeah, I don't know what is there. There's got to be something I can identify with.
Keyhole, maybe.
Metal grate.
Well, you guys go back. Yeah, there are metal grates.
So a metal grate could be a discernible object.
Yeah, it might work.
Not
Or
that I
the
have the
nails
spell
they used to
memorized, but hey, this is an
Or
idea
the
I thought
nails
of.
they used to put the shed together.
I would just say, yeah, but I might find all kinds of like loose nails from construction material being dragged across this continent.
Well, but locate object only has like a 320-foot range anyway, doesn't it? Or 300 yards?
60 yards plus 10 yards level.
Yeah, so...
so 150 in my case.
Yeah, so, I mean... It's not like it would be like, oh, hey, there's nails all the way over in the capital, 500 miles away. It's not gonna, like... It is very much a detect things inside a dungeon spell. Like, that's essentially the point of it, originally. Alright, but you guys are gonna make your way over to the shack?
Oh, down to the shack.
Yeah. Arms on swinging PM.
Okay. Can we figure out a way to have someone a bit further up to signal if people are coming and stuff? that won't be visible to the others.
Well, was anybody going to stay behind to watch for patrols?
What time of day did they occur?
Well, Braxon's less sneaky than the rest of you, so him not being right close to you might be useful.
Well, Braxon probably needs sleep at this point because you were like up the whole night, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
I thought you were splitting it with Ockar and you were taking like 4-hour shifts or something.
There was blessed watchfulness on Braxon.
That's true. That's
Oh.
true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so
yeah, I had less watchfulness on someone, so I forgot.
he would grab the sleeping bag from Ockar.
So while
pillow and blanket.
You could definitely sleep while people are getting spells back and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, Ockar has not gotten in yet. He is coming, but
He's
on my
just
way.
arriving.
Ah, there you are.
Oh lord, he coming.
Ockar, would you be wanting to go be on watch at the lookout point?
Yeah.
Okay. So, given the height, if he spots someone starting to make their way up the mountain, he can get to you guys before they get up here, kind of thing. So, unless they had some kind of special means in which to, like, fly up real fast, even with a fly spell, he'd probably get to you, with minutes at the, like, kind of the worst case scenario. He'd get to you with minutes to spare, at least. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Okay.
Or you could do that on Wolfback as well.
Yeah, but if he flies, he'd be more likely to be spotted
No,
as well.
on ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty rocky, so I don't know that it's the best.
Yeah, but
place
there's
to
not a
ride.
horse. A wolf should be able to get through the terrain fairly easy.
It's up to Ockar
It's
to
pretty
decide whether
pretty rocky.
he wants to ride Behemoth off the edge of a cliff or not.
All right,
This is
so
not like Skyrim mounted riding. You can't climb mountains on the back of a horse.
You just shimmy up any mountain. I did that in so many MMOs trying to go to inaccessible places.
all right, so Ockar will be on watch. The rest of the group goes to the shack.
Shantytown it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I suppose Braxon could go if they want me.
No, you need sleep.
I mean, how long were you guys looking at needing spell recovery time?
I was only changing one 3rd level spell, so not long.
Okay. Well, then Braxon would.
Well,
Not sure
what
about the others.
Yeah, what about the others?
I
about
changed.
Never had to quit.
Kid, one at a time, please. Lafdul. You can be rough. It doesn't need to be exact at this point.
Less than an hour.
Okay. Leva.
3 hours.
All right. Solas.
Bit over 3.
Okay. So, if you do 4 hours with the then Braxon will be rested.
Yeah, otherwise Braxon will go with Ockar. Your choice. Do you want Braxon or not?
We can look for some food in the early part of the morning, I guess, see if there's anything.
There is nothing.
Lemmings?
Not enough up here to be worthwhile.
Lemmings.
Also, we aren't really making cooking fires, so
Yeah.
it would have to be something that we can eat raw.
Would there possibly be enough that Finn could forage?
Maybe for yourself, but there aren't food plants up here. There's very little in the way of berry bushes and stuff like that. Most of the animals are very small animals up here, so it's just not
get hunted.
Yeah, I mean it's just not worth the time, basically.
Unless you're looking at hunting avians, I guess.
You gotta get that bird.
I mean, there are hawks. I mean, they hunt some things.
They also don't need to eat nearly as much as we do either.
Yeah, that's why they're probably able to get by the small rodents.
Well, but they also can very easily hunt down on the plains, where there's a lot more game.
Yeah,
I mean, you
Hawk
could do a little
doesn't
bit of
have to hunt
scouting
on
or
the
something
mountain.
like that, but like especially Finn, since you don't need very much time at all to change your spells up, you could do some scouting around pretty easily.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Even if there's like a coastline, we can get like
You're not anywhere close to a
shellfish.
coastline.
Oh yeah, keep forgetting that on a mountain. Is there any snow? Oh no, no.
No, it's summer. Maybe in winter, there's snow up here, but not in summer.
It's not high enough mountain to have snow caps.
Yeah. It is definitely chillier. Like, there's a good 10-degree difference between where you are up here during the day and down on the ground. Night is where that is most noticeable. Like, it gets down 40, 50 degrees at night. Because it's just so exposed and there's just, wind constantly blowing and everything like that. Alright, so,
question.
Finn, yeah?
Did Lafdul at any point lose the sense that was it Nord that you cast Sacred Guardian on was in danger?
Doesn't Sacred Guardian just give you a sense and then ends?
I would have to check.
I didn't think it gave you a constant play-by-play of the danger that they're in. While you're looking that up. Oh, yep.
It just says a mental image of the person's situation. Yeah, no, it just says, that. And there's nothing, no just other further description of anything else. And it lasts for days, so it seems the spell's active until the person's out of danger. So that could be distracting.
I would assume that it lasts until someone is in danger, and then it ends. Or the duration expires. Because otherwise, it's talking about a single instance. It's not talking about, like, a constant stream of, updates, details on all of the danger they're in. Let me take a quick look. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rule that it's just like a one-time thing. Because, it doesn't say enough, and it's only a level 1 spell. It's only a level 1 spell, so it's not going to be giving you constant updates on their plight.
Alright, Nose is gone then in that case.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably have to cast another one on him at some point, but if we plan on being here like a week long, but it's getting back there.
Yeah, you'd have to go back there, and you're talking, like, that's at least a full day's trip back there and back here again kind of thing. I think you've gotten what you're going to get out of them, and you just got to hope that they're okay. I mean, you had the weather prediction that a hurricane was coming, and so you did as much as you could to prepare them for it. So
Yeah. Well, now that they've experienced a hurricane, at least they know what they can expect if it happens again.
yep.
Mm.
Finn, are you looking for anything in particular? Or are you just kind of like keeping an eye out for any dangers? What are you going to do in the couple hours that you got to scout around?
Since it's not a long-term scouting thing, I'll probably just check for any kind of danger.
Okay. All right. In that case, you do not find anything out of the ordinary, any danger. You don't see any signs of other people having been up here, like overnight kind of thing. And you return to the party, and everyone's pretty much ready to head on over to the shack at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So much enthusiasm. Yeah, if all that stuff was enough delay for Braxon to go, then Braxon will go.
Okay.
Unless people would rather he was off with Ockar.
No, you needed whatever you needed.
So much enthusiasm for that as well.
It's because I'm looking at spells and not actually paying attention. I mean, I've took my spells, but I'm thinking about spells that could be useful, so I'm distracted.
Yeah.
All right.
Braxon would have lent his spyglass to Ockar if Ockar's staying up top and shown him that how to put that attachment on to try to reduce the glare.
Okay.
Okay.
And ask him to be careful with it because if you swing the spyglass around, you'll break it off.
Anything that you want Ockar to do, like besides if someone comes up, starts coming up, like if he spots a patrol, does he just like monitor it and then let you know when it happened, or do you want him to come to you guys? What?
That's a good call. That's kind of important because if he sees people coming towards us and he knows they're going to get to us in half an hour.
Yeah, no, that's already covered.
Yeah. Okay.
What about if
If
just a
you-
normal patrol comes out and is like you saw the other day?
I think it would be better to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep track of timing, route. See if we can find a habit that they do.
Okay.
One of the spellcasters potentially could stay with Ockar.
Oh,
Any volunteers
Finn.
for that then, or not? Actually,
I can stay.
Lafdul has a question for Finn first, so let's get that taken care of because that might.
You know that spell that you learnt from Leva from her book, that psychic impression spell. How does that work exactly?
What,
Could
the
that be
tracking
useful?
spell?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, would that... I can't
I
remember
could
how
use that to find the trail of a patrol, but
Would that allow you to trace the pro route to a limited degree?
yeah, probably. I'd obviously have
That
to
w-
break off before I got close to the.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they take the same patrol over and over again, if that could be used to discern that, or if it's random. Because if it's a set route...
I need to look at the spell though, because I might need something.
Oh yeah, it's for the next day anyway, but something to bear in mind. I was just thinking if we can figure out if it's a random route or a predetermined route, then that makes ambushing them a lot easier, or plotting against them, I guess.
Well, watching them for a few days would at least let you know if, if they go on a different route on 3 days that you watch them, then you know that it's either random or they have a variety of predetermined routes, kind of thing.
Yeah, we know the late night patrol, the evening patrol was a different route.
Yeah, I need something closely related to the creature being tracked.
So if I were to pickpocket one of them,
That would work, yeah.
Alright.
If the guard in question is in the patrol group that doesn't go on the other route. If they have multiple routes.
Generally, it's useful to have something of them if we try any kind of divination magic anyway.
Alright, so there was a suggestion that a spellcaster might stay with Ockar. That's kind of up to the spellcasters. Anyone want to do that, or...?
I need to go because I have to detect traps and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can stay.
Wizard Eye doesn't cast itself.
I can stay.
Okay. So, Solas, you'll head over to Ockar and be on watch with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so the rest of the party heads over to the shack. So as a reminder, the shack is wood, and I'm using shack more for its size than anything else. It's a very small structure. It is clearly...
Like an outhouse?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
For like, before we split up, if Solas is going to go with Ockar, does he have a spell that he could use to send us a message quietly?
No, but I can always go invisible and fly to you.
Okay. Sorry, carry on, Ald.
Okay.
And let Godspeed, Ockar.
So the shack, it's well built, clearly designed to stand up to the weather. So I'm using shack more for its size than for its construction. There is no door. Like, it is obviously not like living quarters or anything like that. There are large grates on the outside to allow a free flow of air, and that does allow you to see inside and see that there is a hole in the ground, and you realize that it is a ventilation shaft.
Can I...
Real fast, the bars on the grates are not particularly wide. It's wide enough for you to see inside and stuff like that, but even sticking an arm between them is tight. So yes, you got a question.
Can I roll spellcraft to figure out whether or not this illusion was placed on the shack, or could it be placed on a area? What would seem more likely?
I think that a wizard would need to roll spellcraft for that.
Alright, I'll make the suggestion to Leva.
Okay, she rolls.
She's done illusions before.
Yeah.
That's true. She has. Just a second. Let's go. That's
Should be a success.
just a moment.
That'll be easy success for you.
Yeah, since it's intelligence -2.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
then it's 16. Then it's 16.
Then that is a success. The illusion is basically on the area, but the shack is part of the area, so it's kind of 6 of one.
Wondering what would happen if the shack was destroyed. Would it lose its anchor?
The illusion would still exist.
Why would
It's
we
not
want
on the shack, the illusion.
Why would you want to destroy the shack?
Oh, they now have to perform maintenance on the shack, and they've left themselves vulnerable. It's another opportunity to get people outside the.
They have to notice.
Prison.
Do you think they have an automatic alarm system where wirelessly transfer
You just
signal?
leave pieces of wood strewn around the area. Then they think, oh,
Yeah,
you
but
probably
how
should
often?
check the shacks. I mean, they're not perfectly built. They will weather down eventually. You see a piece of wood that looks constructed, you're going to investigate out of routine.
How badly maintained does the shack look like, Old? Braxon. Braxon, do you know how badly it is?
Braxon isn't here.
Oh,
He
okay.
is? Oh.
Braxon isn't here.
Brax-
Oh yeah, no, he is here.
Oh.
Right. Sorry.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
he
I'm
isn't.
sorry.
Braxon doesn't think this looks like a ship, but he might be able to.
You know,
I mean, Braxon
you know
could...
wood. You know wood.
Oh, it's wood.
Yeah, it's wood.
Right. Sorry, I thought you were saying it was bars.
There are bars set into the wood.
Braxon would probably like to make his ladder happen and then climb up and look and see if he could. He's not going to damage it yet, but he wants to see if it will be possible to like rip off a bit of the roof and poke it down those. This is where the holes were, weren't they, for the smoke? This shack, isn't it?
No, this is
Well,
this
it's
is
like-
a ventilation shaft. This is completely separate from the chimneys.
How weather beaten does it look?
It doesn't look particularly weather beaten, but you're also not an expert on wood and carpentry.
That's why I've asked Braxon. Braxon,
Yeah,
how
Braxon.
close is it to falling apart? If we were to rip it apart, would it be possible that it just happened? Or would it be clear that somebody had ripped it apart?
Yeah, I think I'd have to probably make a carpentry check, but Braxton's going to have looked for an area that looks like it could look possibly like it's been battered apart by the wind. He's
Then
also looking.
you need to make a carpentry check.
Yeah. He's also going to be looking for a place where we could leverage a way in and then put it back. Right, carpentry check.
That would also make them check all of the secret entrances out of routine if they know that they need to check on one. And then we could just follow them to each one.
Failure.
So it's a little bit outside of your expertise, Braxon.
Yeah.
What you can say is that it appears to be quality construction.
Right.
You do not see any parts that look like they're in danger of weathering away in the near term.
So Clever starts casting Wizard Eye. This is taking too long.
Oh, don't cast it right next to the shaft.
Why not?
Cast it a little bit far away, because it echoes like anything. At least like 10, 20 feet away.
Yep. She goes away and then casts the next for the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Braxton's gonna ask a question to Finn. Is this environment likely to support things like woodworm?
Would I
Finn,
know that on?
You can roll an intelligence check. Actually, wisdom check. You think it's probably too cool at night to support too many wood-borne parasites. Besides those that work on like just completely exposed, unprotected wood. This wood has definitely been treated.
Right.
You can tell that, like it's quality
Yeah,
construction.
real
It's
fellow
treated
knows
wood. It's designed to withstand the environment.
Can I tell how it's anchored to the ground?
You probably can't. And anyone else would probably need to get inside. The ground is bare rock right here, and it does show some signs of work to make sure that it's like smooth and stuff like that.
Okay, that's actually what I wanted to know.
So
because I could make that rock much softer.
Yeah. It's not like it doesn't have flagstones put into the ground. It is like bare rock that's been worked a bit to make sure that it's smooth, kind of thing. At least from the outside. Inside might be a little bit of a different story, given that there's no doors. The only ways that you guys see inside are through the grates. And if anyone wants to get inside who is too big to fit through the grate, like the space between the bars, you'll probably need to make a hole in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so while you guys are studying that, Leva, you finish your Wizard Eye spell.
Okay.
Yeah? Lafdul?
If I had time, I would have searched traps.
Okay, yeah, you got time. Takes her 10 minutes to do that, and I'm fine with that.
At least on the grates going in around that area, like a glyph one.
At the very least, you can search for traps on one, and you can be like, all right, go into this one, because I've checked for traps, kind of thing.
Question to Old.
Mm-hmm.
The grates, are they locked? So if Lever were to cast knock, then or Lafdul were to use his lock picking skills, could they open it?
They do not open. They do not open. You'd have to remove them.
They're fixed.
Okay.
All right. What is your find remove traps, Lafdul?
I presume I'm wearing my armor because it's only Elven chainmail. It's fairly light. 90.
All right. You do not detect any traps on at least one of the grates.
I'll find traps on the next one while she's doing her thing.
Okay. We'll go ahead and handle her Wizard Eye first, and then when that's done, I need to roll level variation. However,
Come on, Pit. Come on, Pit. Come on, Pit. That would be funny. Hey, look, we got a new entrance.
Lever looks around and says, "Universe, he's disturbing me again."
All right, everything explodes. I mean, no, the Wizard Eye is cast successfully. So you can travel if you're just doing the basic move and just look straight forward. That is 30 feet per round, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the duration of the spell is at 1 round per level?
Just a second. Yes, 1 round per level.
Okay. All right. So, you send the eye through the grate. The eye does have physicality to it. It does have a size. These grates are a bit more than 1 inch apart, so I mean, you can get like up to the middle of your forearm inside if your hand is flat, kind of thing. So you're looking at a couple inches. So it easily gets in, and you send it towards the ventilation hole in the ground. And moving on down there, there's another iron or metal grate about 10 feet down. And as you approach it, your Wizard Eye senses heat as it passes through it and keeps moving on. About 30 feet. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to close the window. There's too much noise outside. Sorry about that.
Okay. Did you hear what I said, or do you need to do you need
No,
me to
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard the heat. Does Lever know where the heat comes from?
No.
Just passing through the vent.
Is it very hot?
It's pretty hot. The eye doesn't have much in the way of touch sensation, but you can sense this heat.
Okay. But it's not hurt in.
And it's not destroyed. We'll put it that way.
Lever passes all of this on to the others, by the way. Sort of a running commentary.
So you continue down. About 10 feet further on, you see that it opens up, and now it's basically dark. So you're running on infravision here. And
outwards, so now you see the heat sources really well.
Yes, but then it's no, it doesn't actually slow it down. No, it's okay.
if you're just continuing forward, then you're staying at the 30-foot route. However, about 10 feet below that grate, there is a chamber. The shaft itself is still about the same size, but there is a chamber off the side. You have the choice of either continuing down the shaft or looking into that chamber.
Leva has 2 wizard eyes, so she's going to continue down.
Okay.
Because she wants. The reason is that she wants to actually find, if possible, find the prison area, and that will be the furthest down.
Okay. As you do, you feel the wizard eye get buffeted. And as you're continuing on past this chamber, you can now feel that there is wind, and it actually carries your wizard eye faster than it would normally go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So the shaft is very straight and very there is basically nothing to see for quite a distance as you are continuing down, and you can tell that you are going straight down at this point, continuing on straight down.
Any more temperature changes?
Nothing that you can feel.
Okay.
But after some distance, and because you've been going further and faster than normal, you're not sure how far it is, but you do have the just kind of internal sense that your wizard eye doesn't have a whole lot of time left to it. But you do get to the bottom, and you see a branching path, and there are shafts going to 3 different directions now at the bottom. So you've gotten, and this is now perpendicular, so you realize that this is level with the ground kind of thing, perpendicular to the ground. And for the purposes of this, we'll go with northeast and west.
So not much time left. When it looks around, I will forego the 30 feet per round, one round, by having it look closely at the surroundings where it is right now.
It is very nondescript. There is nothing that distinguishes any of the routes from the other.
So they all look the same, really.
Yeah. At
in
the
that
point
case,
that you are.
because in that case, I tell the wizard eye to go east, meaning to the right.
Okay. All right, and let's see. Let me do a measurement of something. Okay.
So just sight and no auditory.
Correct. It's just sight, no auditory. After about 20 feet, the shaft does continue east, but then there's a branch to the south. You can go east or south.
East.
Okay.
It's easy to just go straight for the moment.
All right. You continue east, and you see that there is a grill at the base of this shaft, at the floor of the shaft, quote unquote. And you can see that opens up into another passageway, not a ventilation. So your conclusion is that you're now at like a grate that's opened up into a corridor that people would traverse. In addition, the shaft continues past that, not quite straight east. It angles a bit, but then your wizard eye expires.
You say angles a bit sideways or up or down as well?
It's still at the same level, but it turns a little bit to the north. So it's going. You would put it at east northeast, so 20 degrees kind of thing.
So that could be the end of the edge of the area. Is there anything in the did it see anything during that trip that showed more ventilation stuff, like holes and things like that?
Just that one grate leading down into a corridor, and there were some other there were some other ventilation shafts going off the sides, kind of thing. That's all you saw.
Okay, so Levalithana has told all of that to the others. What do you think?
At least that's a way in.
I will give you one other thing. You guys would realize that the chimneys are lower than the position of this ventilation shaft. So if you're worried about because like one of the only reasons that you got that down that far was because your wizard eye was being carried by air pushing it further down.
That is interesting, because we're not looking at smoke coming out at the top, are we?
No, not this. This is an air shaft. This is clearly bringing air in.
Some kind of bellow or something. I'm trying to think of medieval technology that would do that. A water wheel fan.
Several spells or spell effects.
Oh yeah, I forgot about magic.
But yeah, so like one thing that you can clearly conclude is that if you can get to the appropriate size and get to a point within the time limit of that, however long it would take to the duration of the spell, the magic. You can get there and get to a grate that would take you into a corridor inside the prison. If your spell had more time, you might have been able to actually explore around some more as well.
There's one thing that is definitely noticeable, and that is there was no anti-magic area. Otherwise, the eye would have turned off.
Yeah, anti-magic's generally pretty expensive, unless it's a natural thing.
So if whoever would like to go down there can cast spells, that would work.
Is it just like a smooth shaft?
Yep.
I'm thinking of Finn as a lizard, because lizards are known to be able to walk along smooth areas on walls.
Unconstructed smooth walls?
Chameleons. Yes, they can walk on glass.
Yeah, so they have like suction cups on their feet.
Finn knows of a few lizards that could, from the description at least, easily traverse that. The problem is that they're not native. He hasn't seen any of those around here. Now, if you don't get spotted, A, and B, do the people here know what is and is not native? I mean...
They just see lizard.
Yeah.
If you... Oh no, Leva wouldn't know that at all.
I did that question before it started.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot more about chameleons than Leva does.
I mean, I don't mind some there's certainly an element of I mean,
Research
Leva has an 18 intelligence. She knows a lot. There's a lot that Leva knows that you Lev do not know, kind of thing. And to a certain extent, there's a lot of things that you personally know that I don't have a problem with her knowing too, kind of thing. So if there's a suggestion, and at the same time, when you're at a point when you're unsure of what characters know, I am fine with player discussion on what about this thing, and then I'll make a ruling. Oh no, you wouldn't know that. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So if you have,
yeah,
go ahead.
Chameleons can change colors. So you could adjust if you were a chameleon or some lizard type that can blend in, and you'd be far less noticeable.
Yeah. Could be worth a try.
The problem I see is with that hot area.
I think I can neutralize that for myself, at least.
Okay. If... No, we couldn't get you back up. I was just going to suggest, or Leva was just going to suggest if we reduced you as a lizard, so you could get through all the grades. But then the question is, could you come back?
I can just climb back out.
Not if you, in the meantime, you regrew to your normal size.
Well, I could just be a lizard small enough to get through the grates on my own.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah,
or hummingbird.
Most normal size, like unless you're talking about like an iguana. If you're talking about a gecko or a chameleon or some of the other types of basic lizards,
Komodo dragon.
they're pretty. Not a Komodo dragon. You know they're pretty small, so they would be able to fit through pretty easily.
And I have a feeling that grate with the heat that you sensed is there to keep vermin out.
Yeah, that could be.
Well, probably worth a try.
I mean, you could do some research on what that grate is before you like actually go in if you want.
Would you prefer Leva to cast another wizard eye to try the other directions, or the first room that she bypassed?
I think we got enough good information out of the first one.
Okay.
Plus, if you go all the way down now, how do you think your lizard form can adhere itself to the walls when it's being buffeted by winds?
So here's one problem with the chameleon, and I'm fine with Finn knowing this. They don't have suction cup type stuff like the classic chameleon with the cone-shaped eyes. They have gripping claws. They wrap their toes around like branches and stuff. Geckos do have like geckos can adhere to pretty sheer surfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let's go see if I can sell someone some car insurance.
Okay. So you're gonna change form?
I'm going to cast Protection from Fire first.
Okay.
Because that does also protect from heat.
Okay. And how much is that going to protect against?
I let's see here. 12 points of heat or fire damage per level of the caster.
Pretty good.
So I can withstand up to 120 points of damage.
All right, so Leva, you know, in the future, make sure that Finn casts that on himself, and then just drop fireballs on him all the time.
He
That's
already
an idea,
suggested
yes.
this.
You should actually tell that to Solas. He's the one who doesn't care about hitting other group members.
I will point out that usually when
Half-elves.
we're going into the Phlogiston, I memorize this and a produce fire spell. Just for if the opportunity arises for me to fly over to an enemy ship and basically set off a giant firebomb.
Not bad.
I look forward to this. All right. So you cast protection from fire. How long does that last? That's a pretty long duration, right? Like all day or something?
Yeah, that lasts until it gets until it runs out of absorption.
Or a day?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you cast that on yourself, and then change into a small wall-climbing gecko-type lizard.
Yep.
Okay. You easily scamper up to the grate and slip on through, down the other side. Inside the shack, you can see that it is anchored pretty securely. There's like bolts into the stone kind of thing.
Okay. But if I was to soften the stone, they could probably be just lifted right out, right?
Yeah, you also would realize that like shape wood would be possible to like around the grate to just pull one of the grates out, and then anyone could just climb in.
Okay.
Like the space between the grates is small, but the grates themselves are quite big. So if you pull off one of the grates, any member of the party except Bjornwolf could easily get in.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like sliding down.
I'm sorry?
Could be funny. You'd be sliding down or something.
Well, no, I just mean to get into the building. Like, you could just climb over a wood wall and then be inside this building. The building itself is like 5 feet by 5 feet, so not a whole lot of people could fit inside of it, but, you know, if there's something if you just want space to maneuver around inside there, like get someone in and then reduce them or something like that, it's easy enough to do.
It's a shame about there being well, it can be overcome. I'm just thinking it's actually a good place to camp because you're perfectly camouflaged, other than the fact that they might occasionally patrol directly to it.
The rock itself isn't much larger. Like, the illusion of the rock isn't much larger than the shack, so you wouldn't be
comfortable.
Yeah. All right. So you head down the 10 feet into the shaft and get to the metal grate that's inside, and that is blazing hot. You would take 5 points of damage coming into contact with that. And Finn, you realize that there is either a heat metal effect on there or a version of it.
Okay. Something that could potentially be dispelled.
Yeah. And then you pass through that, unless you're going to hang around examining it.
I just wanted to take a quick look at how the grate is set in. See if there's maybe an easy way to get it out of there.
It's anchored into the stone as well, so this part is like worked stone placed there. So does soften earth and stone?
Yeah.
Would that work on like a stone wall that's been built?
No, I think it's natural stone only.
Okay, then that would not work on that.
Yep.
But if you can deal with the hot metal, a good enough
Stone
amount of
shape might, though.
stone shape would definitely work on that stone, and with enough force, you know, the stuff could be, you know, pulled out or something like that.
Yep.
But you continue down, and you can see off to the side of this shaft the room that Leva's wizard eye saw. It's basically ahead of you right now. You're not abreast to it, but you can definitely hear wind blowing around in there. You can now feel more wind, you know, coming down from behind you. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I will continue on.
Okay, so you're passing it, not going in, kind of thing. Is that correct? You're not going into this room? You're going to continue down the shaft?
Well, I was going to retrace the root of the eye.
Okay.
To start.
Okay. As you continue down past, you see a visible gust of wind blast out at you, and that definitely strikes you. So I'm going to first need a... Your dexterity is not really going to apply. I will give you a dexterity check. Actually, I will. Dexterity check, but because you're a lizard, I'm going to give it a -4 bonus. So to get it lower, more likely to succeed. And this is basically to see if you maintain your hold on the wall.
Okay. So... roll it and then figure it out from there. Well, okay, that's a fail.
Yeah, that's a fail. Okay, so that's going to be kind of bad. First of all, so you were glancing towards this wind, and you can see basically like a whirlwind inside that chamber lashing out at you. And you take 8 points of damage. And you lose your grip, and you begin falling down this pit. Solas' Sacred Guardian would definitely trigger.
Okay.
So, Solas, you would get a picture of a gecko being basically torn from the wall by a blast of wind from a whirlwind. Give me another dexterity check with that -4 bonus, Finn, because I'm assuming you're trying to grab the wall as you tumble down.
Yeah.
Okay,
that'll work.
Yeah, that's a success. So you do manage to grab yourself, but the force of that fall is going to do some damage. Like you're talking about slamming into the wall a few times.
It's like friction burn, but of the worst kind.
Pulling on your tiny little gecko muscles. Good news, only 6 points of damage. On a 3d6 is... that is a bad roll on my part.
I don't mind that bad roll.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. So you've fallen at least 30 feet before you manage to grab on. There is wind rushing past you now, but this is more like a normal wind being blown down towards you. You would realize that you now have a problem getting back out. Because that, whatever that was that hit you is going to be blocking any attempt to get back out.
Interjection?
Yep.
I would think that we agreed that if he'd stayed in there for some arranged time, longer than some arranged time, Leo would try and use ascending on him.
That's fine. I mean, it's completely silent as well anyway, so you could also just decide, okay, we didn't agree on anything, but he's been down there for 5 hours. He should have been back. I'm going to cast a spell. Or whatever the duration, so.
Yep, okay. So she will do that once he's been there for too long.
But for now, Finn, you can continue climbing down the wall if you want.
Well, might as well complete the mission before I figure out how to get back, so.
Okay. All right. You make your way down the shaft, and it is tough because this wind, like this wind being pumped down the shaft is like constantly trying to pull you off, but just in the way that a normal wind would. You do manage to keep your grip, and you get down to the bottom of the shaft. And the shaft, the whole way, is about 6 feet by 6 feet kind of thing. Square.
Okay.
You get down to the bottom, and again, 6 feet by 6 feet, and you see the three-way path north, east, and west that Leva described. You know that her wizard eye went east.
Okay. Well, I will also go east.
Okay. So after about 20 feet or so, there is a path branching off to the right, which would be south. And you can continue on east, which again, you know that the wizard eye continued east.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go, because I want to go check out that grate into the corridor.
Okay. To the south, you can see some light, but it's just like faint light to the south. You can't make anything out other than there's some light down there. And again, to the east as well, because you realize that that's from the grate ahead. So you continue east and get to the grate, and you can look down into that corridor.
Yep. I will look down.
Okay.
Staying out of sight for right now. Also kind of listening.
Okay. As you watch, you do hear some people approaching the grate. You're still inside the vent, looking down through the grate, kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Where did I put that? There it is. Okay. All right. So it's one person. He is kind of grumbling to himself. You can't really make out what he's saying, but he passes under you. And you can tell based on how he walks that he has just passed beneath the vent that you just took, following the same route, and then he turns north. So to the left.
Okay. I'll continue to listen for just a little bit, see if I hear anyone else, and then I will slip out into the corridor and follow him for a little bit.
Okay. Let me go ahead and...
I think I will cling to the ceiling as I do this.
Okay. Then let me go ahead and get you over there. Give me just a second. Okay. So head on over here. Wait for everything to load in. And I need to pull you up to the map. Okay. So you are...
Okay, I see. Yep.
Okay, and you can see the corridor?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, real fast, I need to shift some people around, some tokens around, so they are in the right places. I probably should have done this beforehand, but, well.
Alt the party bypassing the entire dungeon, going straight to the bottom level. Who could have ever prepared for that?
No, like this is also one of those things that I specifically was telling myself I needed to do, and then right outside my head, just gone. All right.
Was that oops outside your head?
So that you waited until that that figure went like out of earshot entirely, right? Before coming out?
Yes.
Okay, so you would not be seeing him. All right. Hold on a second. All right, that is zooming out way too much. There we go. All right. That is that guy. All right, so you can see to the corridor to the north, and this is well lit with what appears to be magical lights. So there is plenty of light to see around and stuff like that. So you can see all the way to the end of the corridor. There's some passages all the way at the end. There are 4 doors along the wall to the north, and to the west you see 3 doors and an opening.
Okay.
There is some sounds, but the walls are thick enough to muffle a lot of what might be going on.
So what do the doors look like?
Are
there any openings in them, or?
There are not. They're pretty solid closed doors. And they are very tight. You will need to like search the doors to try and see if there's any way into any of the places, kind of thing.
Okay.
And,
for right now, I will just head up the corridor to the north.
Okay.
Along the ceiling.
All right. Give me just 1 minute to finish getting some NPCs around. And that is that. So the doors are pretty nondescript. There are slight differences, and I will tell you about them in a moment. But I got just a couple more NPCs that I got to put around. Apologies for this. And that is going to be... there, and... okay. Almost done. Okay. All right, so the doors that you pass here and here, they're very sturdy, very plain, but they are also you can tell that they're pretty heavily used. This door up here is also very similar to that. This one over here you don't think is as heavily used, and it's a higher quality door.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think I do want to go take a look at the corridors farther to the north before I come back and look at doors.
Okay. So you scamper to the north.
Yep. And to stop right there and peek around the corner.
Okay. So as you were scampering to the north, you could see that the northern passage does have some stairs. Going up, I should say. And the corridor, you can take your token and just pop around the corner so you can see that. The end of the corridor is in shadow. The light doesn't quite reach there, but it's enough that you can see that there are two doors down at the end, just like the vague outlines. It's technically just outside of your vision radius at this point. All right. So you can see that those broad stairs there. The stairs going up are broad and lengthy, so it's very easy to traverse up. They're not like steep stairs. They're very, very low angle stairs to make it very easy to get up and down at like speed or pace or with heavy gear or something like that.
Okay. I think I will head this way and just look at the rest of this corridor.
Okay.
And look at those doors in particular.
Okay. This door at the end is similarly higher quality. This is a pretty plain door, but it seems extra reinforced. It's a bit thicker, a bit sturdier, but quite plain.
Does it look like there's any kind of gap under the door?
There's gaps under the doors, but they're very small. Like these are well-fitted, well-made doors, so that they don't have a whole lot of space around them and give and stuff like that.
Would a gecko be able to slip through?
That is something that you'd have to get to the door and actually like search around, poke your nose, and things like that.
Okay, I will do that on this door to the north here.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check, please. Okay, you do not find any gaps that you in gecko form can get through.
Okay. All right, I will go look at this door then.
All right. That door is so well maintained and made that you can tell right away that there is nothing there that would allow you to get through there.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go back and look at this door next.
Okay. Give me another intelligence check. Okay.
Nope.
Despite that, you do find a gap. I was giving you a bonus there. Just enough.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to go through?
Yeah, I'll slip through and see what's on the other side.
Okay. The door is well made, but it's not quite as well fitted to the frame and stuff like that. It seems like your guess is that that's less of a concern with that door, that it's well fitted and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you come in, and you see a large room, a bit higher ceiling than the corridor outside, and the room, it's empty right now, but you can see targets for shooting arrows, target dummies for practicing weapons. There's a couple practice swords laying around. Some arrows are still stuck into some of the targets. You see mats for practicing unarmed combat. This is obviously a like a training
room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Furthermore, on the ceiling, you see right about here, there is another vent, ceiling vent.
Interesting. I think I will go take a peek up through that vent.
Okay. All right. So just let me go ahead and just move your token right there so that I know that's where you are. All right. So you peek up there, and because this is a higher ceilinged room, you can see that to the south, the vent slopes downward. The vent is like there's also like it's you have to go up a bit more to get up to the vent passageway. So the ceiling is thick, kind of thing. And not only does it slope down to the south, but it also goes to the northwest.
Okay. I think I will take a run down to the south and see if that reconnects to where I was.
It does.
Okay. I had a feeling. So I will go take a look up the northwest shaft then.
Okay. Up to the northwest, after not too far, you suspect that you're still above the training room. It branches straight north and straight west.
I think I'll take a look to the north.
Okay. So that continues to the north for a ways, and you do arrive at a dead end with a vent. And that vent, you can see down into a chamber that is full of boxes and crates and barrels and things like that, supplies, that sort of thing. Give me a wisdom check. You're pretty sure that this is where the stairs led.
Okay. So some kind of storage room.
Yeah. Do you want to come out and peek around a little bit?
I think I will.
Okay. Hold on a second. That'll be another map. All right. And there we go. All right. So you peek out. You're in a large rectangular room. There are boxes and crates and barrels everywhere. You can see the stairs going down to the southeast. And to the north, there is an opening. And you can see on the floor a small trapdoor through that opening on the floor.
All right. I think I will go take a quick look in this area.
Okay. And you're still running along the ceiling?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that is a lot of trapdoors.
Yes, and you can see that the corridor is curving in either direction, and the trapdoors are regularly spaced. You can hear sounds coming from down the corridor to the west.
Does it sound like it's coming towards me at all?
It doesn't sound like it, but it's difficult to make out for sure. It's not obviously coming towards you, but whether it's moving away, whether it's in position, you're not sure.
Okay. I will go a short way down.
Okay.
Say about 4 doors worth.
Okay. It is still further down and around, beyond the curvature, and it is just continuing to curve. I don't have a full map of that.
Boy.
Oops. Accidentally hit something. Ignore that.
All right.
Okay, I'm awake now. Is that what I heard?
Soundboard.
No.
I accidentally hit something on the soundboard. Didn't
Yeah.
mean to do that.
Yeah, I will probably need to look at that and turn that off, just so that. No, I get it. I mean, Discord has put all kinds of things in and everything like that.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It happens. So, Finn, in general, these trapdoors are small. They're too small for a person to fit inside.
Okay.
They're maybe 6 inches across to a side, kind of thing.
Interesting.
Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention, at the entrance, you did pass a bell, a large brass bell, kind of hanging in the doorway or just to the side of it. You're pretty sure that the ringing of that bell would echo throughout this whole curved corridor, if it were to be rung.
So for someone to sound the alarm.
Perhaps, yeah.
Or summon something.
So I don't have a full map of this, but you can keep going down until you spot whatever it is or not.
Yeah, I want to go see what was making the sound.
Okay. So you scamper along the corridor, which does continue to curve, and after a fair bit, you would say that maybe 300 feet or so. You can see just around the curvature, there is a figure, man-shaped, because it is dark. There is some light filtering in, but there is no this corridor is not well lit. But it's about 6 feet tall. It has shiny skin, kind of an orange or yellow color to it, and it has a cart with it, and it appears to be opening up one of the trapdoors and putting something in or dropping something in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to watch it for a couple minutes, kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
After a couple minutes, it moves to the next trapdoor and does the same thing.
Okay. Can I get a better look at what it's dropping in there?
It's taken something off of the cart and putting and dropping it down. You're not sure exactly what.
Okay. I don't want to get close enough that it would possibly see me, so I think I'm going to head back now.
All right, give me a wisdom check. Its movements don't feel natural, and there is a metallic sound as it's moving.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I think it's best if I start heading back now.
Okay.
I have found very interesting things that I would like to let the party know about.
Okay.
How long has he been on the road? Sorry, on the road, on the roads, on the corridors.
Less than an hour.
Okay.
All right, so Finn, you get back to the vent, or do you want to go down the stairs?
I'll go back through the vent.
Okay. So again, let me go ahead and drag you back down here to this map. And so you head back down the to the south, back to the branch. What do you want to do at that point?
I'm going to head back to the west to where the shaft was.
So you head south and you're at the branch that has the kind of angled pathway back to where you got in from the training room, and then there's also the western path that you have not been down. Were you going down that western path that you haven't been down?
No, I am heading back to the entrance.
Okay, back to where you actually came into this whole... Okay.
Yeah.
So the shaft going up. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Then let me go ahead and, for the moment, put your token back here and leave it there. All right, so you get back to the shaft going straight up, and what do you want to do?
I'm going to start working my way up, but I'm going to stop just short of where the wind was.
Okay. All right, so heading up, you feel this wind blowing down right in your face the entire time that you're climbing up this many hundreds of feet high shaft. And just about when you can see the entrance to the side room chamber, you stop. And what do you want to do?
Okay, so I have to go through this to get back to the shaft out, right?
Yep.
I am going to change form into a hummingbird.
Okay. And
hummingbirds do have the ability to maintain their position even in a fairly strong wind.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to fly for the shaft as quickly as possible.
Okay. So
also,
you kind of... Yeah.
A little bit of healing.
Ah, yes.
50%.
Nice. All right, so you kind of leap off from the wall, and you fall a bit, change form, and with the hummingbird's wings, easily catch yourself and maintain your position. And then, kind of looking straight up, you just fly as fast as you can. As you do, you definitely feel wind blast buffet at you. And let's see. Is that going to be a hit or not? Let's see. Yeah, that is going to be a hit. You do get blasted by the wind for 6 points of damage, but that is not enough to knock you down. It does injure you. Flying back through the grate, you do suffer 3 points of damage from the heat, but that is, of course, taken up by your protection from fire from the grate. And the rest of the party basically sees a hummingbird kind of blast its way out at surprising speed. I'll bring you back here.
Okay.
And probably maintain maintain its position or something like that.
Yeah.
Right outside. All right.
Then I'd fly out through the grate in the shack and change back to human form.
Okay. So before you can tell them anything, give me a wisdom check, please. You're pretty sure that was an air elemental in there.
Yeah, thought so. All right, so I will explain everything I saw, including the storage room, which might be a good place for us to make our infiltration from.
All right.
Also, changing back to human form, 10%.
Okay, so anyone have questions for Finn? One at a time, please.
Finn, could you tell us more about this corridor and the doors and stuff? What you noticed?
Yeah, I would have explained everything I just saw.
Yeah, but I mean, there might be things that you come to conclusions from that you would have seen that I didn't describe, kind of thing, that might come up from questions.
Well, my thought is that there are prisoners underneath those trapdoors. As to how they get in or out of there, we don't know, but apparently I get the feeling that's how they're being fed.
So there's nothing with reaching through the prison door if they really are under the trapdoors.
It would depend on how far below the trapdoor they are. If we could open the trapdoor and Solas reach down, he might be able to make somebody ethereal that way.
Do the trapdoors have keyholes? Or are they fixed?
Finn, you don't think that they were locked, because you did see this figure move from one to the other, and he didn't look like he spent any time at the door that would have required unlocking them. But give me an intelligence check, please, because you did walk over some of them. Like, not actually, like, you were on the ceiling, but you would have looked down at them. No, okay, nope. So you're not sure if they're latched or not. You're pretty sure they're not locked, but they could be just simply latched. Or they could have nothing. They could just be easily lifted.
Did you smell any food from the crate room?
Yeah, in gecko form, I'm not sure what your sense of smell would be like, but it was things that you would have smelled would definitely remind you of. There was a lot of wood smell, of course, but you would have smelled like grain-related smells, maybe some dried fruit.
Okay.
Also, what time of day is it as I look up in the sky?
Well, I'm not sure about what they would like register either, even with a good sense of smell, being a gecko.
It's described as an incredible sense of smell.
Okay.
But at the same time, probably keyed towards specific things that it sees as food.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
What time of day is it? So I'm trying to guess at what time they're feeding the prisoners.
So it's before noon, and given how let's see. I have I just need to check something. Where is that? You would have also smelled a cat or two in there, for sure. And probably the smell of rats and stuff like that. So, you would come to the conclusion that there's probably rats trying to eat the stores, cats hunting the rats, that kind of thing is a fairly normal thing. Let's see. So, Finn, give me an intelligence check again, and there's going to be a -2 bonus to this.
That should have been 11, not 18.
Okay. So yeah. You would say that the figure was... it took him a few minutes per hatch to feed them, so given that you didn't see anyone else up there doing feeding at the same time, you'd be able to tell Lafdul that you're not necessarily sure that there's a feeding time per se, as like everyone gets fed slightly, like, you know, one after the other.
Well, it's more
over
of
time.
Mid-morning, well, between noon and sunrise, they get fed. Somewhere in between, that's where it starts. It's like a breakfast meal or something.
Well, Finn, you would definitely realize that well, let me see this. Finn, what was your conclusion from my description of that curving corridor?
I have a feeling it goes in a complete circle.
Okay, so that's your impression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, based on that, I think you could come to the conclusion that it would probably take half a day to most of a day to an entire day, somewhere in there, to make a full circuit and feed them all. That's what's something you can tell
that many.
Lafdul.
That metal noise you heard, Finn, was that just the food containers, or did the figure actually rattle like metal?
The figure made metal sounds. Could have been armor. It could have been something else.
Okay.
But I did notice the odd movements too, so it could be some kind of automaton.
Liver thinks that we should check whether the feeding times correspond with the patrol times. There might be fewer people in there.
Well, you can, when you speak with Solas and Ockar, you can ask them what time they saw a patrol, if they saw a patrol yet. It's still like noonish at this point, so.
I guess I didn't find any traps on any of the other grates, and I was also looking out for anything unusual.
Let me see. So,
I heard some voice in the background.
You did not find any traps on the other grates, no.
Alright. How far down was that fire thing?
The heated grate is about 10 feet down the shaft.
I could try dispelling it. But I'd be casting
okay,
a spell
Braxon?
straight.
Yeah, my mic wasn't working.
Okay.
Question for Finn. Did Finn see anything on any of those trapdoors that could allow us to identify the trapdoor that might have the prisoner in that we want?
He did not. They all looked the same.
That's going to be fun.
Yep.
So you were saying, Lafdul, about trying to dispel it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got right in there and looked straight down, you could probably see the grate, and you could cast a spell magic on it.
Problem is, my voice would carry.
Honestly, with that air elemental making noise, I don't know how well that would echo down. Plus, how are they really going to be able to tell what direction the sound came from?
Yeah, it's going to be bouncing along all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me just...
And actually, I think it would be fairly easy to see that grate from above. Metal that's that hot would definitely glow.
That's true, but it's all that. It's also like, you know, you're looking into a dark place from a bright place. That's always difficult to see things inside.
I cast Detect Magic. I'm going to see if I can pick it up with Detect Magic. Because is it within 30 yards?
It is, but you're not able to actually see it without getting in there. So there's stone in the way. If you're outside the shack, you'd have to get into the shack and look down the shaft to be able to detect it, for Detect Magic to detect it.
Yeah, I assume I was doing that anyway.
But none of the grates haven't been opened, haven't been removed.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Finn has gotten into the... Like, Finn crawled in and then flew out between the bars.
I didn't realize it was such an angle that I can cast a spell through the grate.
It's not about casting the spell, but you still need to be able to visually see the thing to detect it, or like have a thin enough barrier kind of thing between it. But you're talking about stone. You're talking about the angle from outside the thing facing down towards that. Yeah, you need to be able to get into the shaft.
If I reduced myself, would that?
Someone
reach?
could probably, yeah, and you'd be able to climb down you could climb in and out with climb walls pretty easily. Yeah.
That would be great for the fight foul. But I could probably just grind my blades against the wall.
If you've reduced yourself enough to fit through the grates on the outside, you are tiny compared to the shaft.
Also, is my spell reach shrunk when I'm shrunk?
No.
I can still cast the full range.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, I guess I can shrink myself down and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
So I can poke my head through to see if it is an actual... I assume it's magical, but I want to know for certain.
Alright, what's your climb walls?
Oh.
If you ask nicely, then Leva could cast Spider Climb on you.
Lafdul didn't ask.
And that makes it... Spider Climb makes it difficult to cast spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with when you need to grasp your holy symbol. Climb walls, the base, at the moment it's only 50.
Is that...
Chainmail's wearing minus 25.
Okay. It's fairly easy to climb, but I do want to check. Okay. Alright, you made it in and out. Oh, you made it in, I'll put it that way. Up the wall and then down the wall. And you get to the edge of the grate, or the ventilation shaft, and you cast Detect Magic.
Yeah.
Okay. That grate is definitely magic. And
Great. Oh, the one that's radiating the heat.
That's down the shaft. Let's see.
Is there anything else I can reach at 30 feet?
Hold on. I need to...
Also, I got to detect the sphere.
Yeah, it's
90%.
elemental fire.
Right. Does seem like the heat metal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there nothing else I can scan within 90 feet at most?
Not from here, because you can basically just see, down the shaft kind of thing.
Well, see if I can dispel it.
Okay.
I'm also tiny, so my voice is gonna be squeaky quiet.
All right. Let's see.
So I did a macro, the spell macro.
Yep. And at your caster's level. And after this, we'll take our break. I just noticed the time. Okay,
Yeah.
that definitely did not work.
Alright, I'll say Lafdul climbs back out, I guess.
Okay.
Someone might have to pick up Lafdul because Lafdul's really small, but or
All
bend down.
Your attempt to climb out fails. There's enough space so you're not going to fall down the shaft. You do take 5 points of damage.
Oh, rude.
And
What do I take 5 points from falling or something?
Yeah, from falling.
Falling, cooking.
But then you make it out and can tell everyone that you were not able to dispel that. But it is about time for us to take our break. That'll give you guys some time to think about what else you want to try. And you do have a lot of information about what's going on down there. But you might also want to check back with Ockar and Solas to see if they have anything, if they've seen anything. So
Braxon's got a question for Finn and but I guess it could wait till afterwards.
Yeah, let's wait until afterwards. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. Good time to get something to drink, stretch your legs, and we will be back shortly.
Sounds good to me.
See you on the other side.